talk about achievements, I think the first thing is we have somehow managed to stop leakages or corruption to the extent that we think are manageable. In the sense that, number one, in the past, all the state assemblymen, they are sitting at the land office, the land committee in the land office, and then they have the right and the power to approve or disapprove land application. So with this, you can see that in the past, during Barisan Nasional time, many state assemblymen, especially, they managed to get land, available land, state government land, and to be put under their name. Or in other words, that they pay premium, they buy the land from state governments with cheaper rates. That is one form of corruption, but after Pakatan Rakyat comes to power, all land matters has to be discussed in the Jawatan Kuasa Tanah in the state government. So it will be heard, any dispute or any issues will be heard between MB, ESCOs and all the DOs, district officers, and together with our land and mines officer, that's called PDG officers, and housing board officers. So that this kind of open concept had reduced the corruption. Number two is that we have introduced this rather transparent practice. Now we want all our GLCs to sign integrity pact. So actually this is the idea brought to us by Transparency International last year, and then at the moment we have asked our GLC that we can ask them to sign integrity pact together with all these contractors or developers that want to buy land or have joint venture with them. In general, it's a kind of like agreement. There will be everything will be above board. No under table deal, and no more side income to any of the officers. Yeah, so a gentleman agreement, which has been introduced in many countries, and I think Selangor state government, after some some issues, especially related to sand mining, then we decided to adopt what have been recommended by Transparency International to introduce Integrity Pact. In what I was told by Datuk Paul Lau, the president of Integrity, what do you call that? Transparency International. Actually, any party can use that document to sue the other side if anyone breach the agreement or this agreement. So far, but I think this is a good start for us to introduce that. And I think maybe I can elaborate a bit about open tender. In the past, all the tenders are negotiated tenders. So the state governments or local governments or councillors in local governments, they give to their friends or their cronies to do certain job. So a lot of times there is no basis on certain the price quoted by the contractors. I give you an example. Like this year, state governments give to every constituency, state constituency, 1 million ringgit. Maris fund, that means it's a fund from federal. It's supposed to it's a kind of infrastructure fund to do roads. So in my constituency in Kirara, after I asked the MPSJ officer to do one round of survey, what are the areas where the roads need to be redone. So they have identified 4 areas that they think that is just enough for this 1 million ringgit. Then towards the end, to my surprise, this officer told me that because of open tender system practiced by MPSJ, then they choose the most reasonable quotation from the contractors. They managed to save 200,000 from that 1 million ringgit. So now I can have another 200,000 to go to patch up road of the other area. So that shows that how good is this open tender system, where we can really save a lot of state government's money and the people's money. So okay, this is open. Besides the open tender system, we also have introduced this purchase of state land. In the past, for anyone that want to purchase, anyone interested to buy certain state land, what they do is that they need to get what they call that premium. They just need to pay the premium for that land. They get maybe a surveyor to quote the land price, and then they can buy the land. But now Menteri Besar wants the land office to introduce this the bidding system. That means if one piece of land, if maybe a few persons interested in it, then they all can bid for it. So then the DO can choose the highest bid for that that piece of land. However, we find that not many DO really following this rule, because some of them say that it is against the national land code, and also some of them think that I think maybe it's it increase their workload to do this, and that's why it wasn't really that successful in terms of implementation. But there have been a few cases where it is through bidding exercise that people go to people can get buy that piece of land according to market rates. So again, this increase the revenue of the state government. Okay, for other reforms that we have done, that include we try to return the resources of the state back to the people. As you know that ever since we come to power in 2008, in June onwards, we have given 220 cubic meter free water to every household that has water meter in Selangor State. Besides, we also, from that time onwards, we also say that the state government wants to take over Shabas because we don't agree with privatization of water rate. In fact, if not because Selangor Pakatan Raya come to power, in 2009, the water rate in both KL and Selangor will increase 37%. In 2015, increase 25%. In 2018, increase another 15%. Then after that, every 3 years, water price will go up another 10%. So we think that this kind of agreement of Shabas and Selangor State Government is absurd. That's why we want to buy over Shabas. Unfortunately, until now, because the federal government under Barisan Nasional taking side on Shabas, until today it is still not successful. However, we still give that 20 cubic meter free water to every household that has a water meter. This is one form of returning the resources, of the state to the people. Another important, thing that we have done is sand mining. After we come to power in Selangor, we have controlled the sand mining exercise in operation in Selangor State, where we have set up a company called Kumpulan Semester Sendirian Berhad. Then this Kumpulan Semester, we control all the sand mining areas in the state. So any company that interested to do sand mining, they have to apply they have to bid for it. And they have to apply through a Kumpulan Semester, and then from there they can only to be contractors in certain areas. So then from this company, Kumpulan Semester, all the profit that we make, we use the money to do charity. That's why in Selangor State, we have various fund to give away to the poor that include this old folks, senior citizen fund we call SMUE, where all the senior citizens who are Selangorians or who have stayed in Selangor more than 5 years and above 60 years old, they are entitled to apply SMUE scheme, Mesra Usia Mas, SMUE, where if they pass away, they can get the family can get 2,500 ringgit. So I always say that in Selangor, everyone has money to buy coffee. On top of that, now Selangor State we also extend this benefit SMUE to those senior citizens in KL, because before Kuala Lumpur was formed, before 1974, everyone in Kuala Lumpur they are considered the warga Selangor, the citizen of Selangor, so they also benefited from it. Now we have recently introduced this program called Jom Shopping. That is for all those who have registered with SMUE, we give away 100 ringgit coupon either in Tesco, Giant, and a few other supermarkets where we give away to them and take this senior citizen and their family together with the state assemblyman to go for shopping. To go to do shopping, then they get this 100 ringgit coupon, and a lot of what they call that, senior citizens are really happy with the 100 ringgit coupon, where they can be together with their family members. Normally the senior citizen will come with either their husband or the children, and they're able to see the Wakil Rakyat. So normally we can see that they are so happy, so joyful to just receive the 100 ringgit coupon from supermarket from us. So this is another benefit that we give to them. On top of that, we also give to those who are newborn baby in Selangor. If they are born, once they are born, they register with us under the program called Tawas. Then they can get the family can get 100 ringgit. 100 ringgit, the state government will help them to open up an account, so-called something like unit trust. So when the kid reach the age of 18 years old, then they can collect 1,500 ringgit from the Selangor state government. So this is another program for newborn babies in Selangor. Then also for those young people that manage to go into local university, if their family income is below 1,500 ringgit, we also give them 1,000 ringgit and one-off hadiah gift to all these poor family young people for them to go into local university. So we also have, on top of all this, we also have microcredit for people in rural areas who want to do small business. We also have microcredit scheme for those poor people in urban area where they want to do small business. They can always apply where they can get the loan from state government. So we have series of all these kind of social welfare program, something that had never been introduced by the previous Barisan Nasional government. So the theme of the Selangor state government is merakyatkan ekonomi Selangor. For me, I see this as for the past 50 over years in Selangor, all the while we have seen that the politicians that come to power, they try their very best to grab all the wealth of the state and either by giving to their own people, their cronies, or into their own pockets. I mean, like what happened with the former chief minister of Selangor, Kir Toyo, he is being charged for corruption now. That is the best example. But what Pakatan Rakyat has done is the opposite. We try to share the resources of the Selangor state with the people in Selangor. I think that is a major difference. But of course, I shouldn't say that we have totally wiped out corruption. I dare not make this statement because the state is just too big. There are just too many projects. There are too many agencies. There are lots of things which maybe as state government we are unable to look into. Some petty, what they call that, operation issues and so on. For me, I see that I think that for the Menteri Besar and us, we have tried our very best to work with the present civil servant. As I always tell people, when we say that in 2008 we changed state government, basically we just have changed the chief minister, the Menteri Besar, and the 10 ESCOs or the 10 state ministers. So besides that, everything remained the same. Of course, when we come in, we will bring in, we will appoint our new assistants and so on. But it doesn't change the whole setup of the state government. The same goes to all the local government. We just changed the 24 municipal councillors, but the rest, the civil servants are there. So we are facing the problem of in Selangor state government, we have more than 95% of the civil servants are Malays. And unfortunately, we find that more than half of them are UMNO members or UMNO supporters. So that makes us, more difficult. We have seen a lot of subtle boycott, subtle, backstabbing, the sabotages on certain things that, that we wanted to do. We also have seen that, the kind of they do things reluctantly, when we come up with some new policy or new things, where for some of them they might not agree with it, and then they drag their feet, they slow down a lot of things. We have seen that happen very clearly. I can even say that some of the DO in certain districts, there's one district which is the busiest in Selangor State, but we have seen that land office, the DO, they have been dragging their feet, in all the approvals, in a lot of things, directives that come out from the state ESCO, and yet they drag their feet to implement it, they delay it. So we have heard lots of complaints like this. But however, we also have seen some very dedicated, hardworking civil servants. Some of them I have seen that, they even come back to work on Saturday and Sunday. So they treat their offices as their own house, own home. We also have seen that, like our mayor or the chairman of the municipal council, we call it YDP. So they also go down to the ground together with us, or at night if fire or flood happen, or over the weekend. We also can always see them, appearing, showing face here and there. They show that they are dedicated, dedicated to their work, their job. So not all civil servants are that bad to us. But I also was told that according to one survey done by Merdeka Center half a year ago, the survey showed that 65% of the civil servants in Selangor think that Pakatan Rakyat doesn't really help the Malays, and they think that doesn't help the Malay, and we are more pro-Chinese. So we are quite shocked to read this kind of survey report. But that shows that all this while in the past 3.5 years, the propaganda of UMNO achieved their purpose. That is, they try to spread the lies in the Malay ground that the Pakatan Rakyat government is controlled by mainly the DAP, namely the Chinese, and then Malay rights will be marginalized. Islam will also be marginalized too. So with this kind of rumors being spread around, so any new thing, any little thing that we try to do for the Chinese or the Indians or sometimes even the orang asli, but that is less sensitive, it will be interpreted by certain pro-UMNO civil servants as undermining the Malay rights. For example, after we come to power, we give 4 million ringgit yearly allocation to Chinese school, and also 4 million ringgit to Tamil school, and 6 million ringgit we give to the religious school, and another 2 million ringgit we give to this Chinese independent school. Just this merely this few million allocation, I heard that it has created some unhappiness among some pro-UMNO civil servants, because they think that the state government shouldn't have helped the non-Malay schools in the state. So these are the challenges that we face by running the states.
Okay. You touched on a bit about this delay in business proposal and so on. Is this solely a problem of the civil servant, or if there's anything else, like including that you people may take a more serious attitude in approving them and scrutinizing them, or because that you guys are simply inexperienced to deal with administrative work?
Well, you can say we might be.
今天repeat 那个答案，所以我变成我不用，我把我问题直接砍掉。
Oh, I see.
Just opening 的时候你就 repeat 一下就变成。
Okay, you can say that maybe for the first half a year, we might be inexperienced in running the state government, or in running our councillors might be inexperienced of play their role as a municipal councillors. But however, now 3.5 years already, I think many of us we are quite familiar with the jobs that we are doing. I can say that after Pakatan Raya come to power, we have, in terms of development, I think we have made developers unhappy, in the sense that we have, in the first year, we have banned hill slope developments. For all those developments above class 3 and class 4 in the slope, we
Could
have...
you explain what they are? Class 3 and class 4?
Class 3 means, you know, on the ground floor is class 1. You know, class 3 is a higher, I think it's 25 degree and above. Class 4 is even more steep up. We have banned the hill slope development. So this have made a lot of developers very unhappy because many of them have purchased land that are in slopey area. So, but after that, we have we have given we have asked the geology department, we have asked DOE, Department of Environment, and a few ICRAM, you know, to come out to do a study. So in the end, we have come up with the conclusion that any area that involve hill slope development, we try to ask them to turn that slope area to be not to develop the slopey area. If they have one piece of land, the slopey area will be kept as open field, or we call kawasan lapang, so that you know, to try to prevent landslide from happening in those areas. Besides, we also want them to have stringent measure and get a consultant to do proper study in those slopey areas. That's one. Number two is that we also have banned those developers that build their houses in forestry area. So this is we try to keep Selangor State to have 30% of our land as a forestry land. So this also, I think, makes some people unhappy. I think thirdly, being that we control the plot ratio more stringently compared to the past. And fourth is that the Bumi quota. This Bumi quota policy had been fixed by the previous government, but they never implemented it as seriously. So now we just follow the rules only. We also did not change or touch it much. But this had also, of course, also had made some developers very unhappy with us. Okay, come back to approvals. I should say that in the beginning stage, some of our local councillors are a bit overzealous. You know, they put down all sorts of requirements and slow down the application process. And we had heard lots of criticism from developers. But after that, we also have seen many of them started to be a little bit more relaxed, to be more pro-business. Then we had heard less criticism. But then it come back to this, in the past, the practice is during Barisan Nasional time. If a consultant or developer wants to speed up their application, they just need to pay from bottom to top. But now, very few people dare to do so because they know that MSCC is watching over us. So when they know that they are being watched over by MSCC, many officers did not take money. Developers also did not openly give away bribe. So, but this also has slowed down a lot of approvals and works. And sometimes because the officers now they want to follow all these requirements fixed by the state government. So when they want to follow the rules strictly, this also has offended some of the developers because in the process they find that they can't make that much profit out of it, and also they feel that suddenly they are asked to follow certain rules, certain requirements which have not been told to them when they purchase the land or have not been told to them before we come to power. But I think generally the developer are not very happy with us, mainly because of the implementation of the Bumi quota policy, which this policy was formulated before our time. But we did not change it because in Selangor we have 53% Bumi Putra or Malays. So any of this kind of action will be interpreted as we try to undermine the Malay rights. We do not respect the Malay rights. So we just keep all this status quo. But recently we have come up with this Bumi quota release mechanism to help the developers to those who really cannot sell the Bumi quota, where they just need to pay the contribution to the state and they can just get the Bumi quota release. If we have local government elections, if the officers in the local government refuse to cooperate with us, we are still facing back the same problem. Even the people elected local councillors cannot do much also if they don't get the cooperation from the civil servants, and we cannot fire civil servants. They are considered, they're having the permanent rice bowl in the local government. But anyway, I think that because this has been our promise to encourage or promote local democracy, so no matter how, we should try to have some sort of opening up and to let people to elect local councillors for a start. Then if we manage to go to Putrajaya, maybe we should look at the problem of the civil service system in total and see how we can revamp it. For me, I see that some civil servants, they are really so used to the style during Barisan Nasional time, where they can get bribe, they can do things as according to their own way. So they are not used to the new style that or new ways of doing things imposed by the chief minister and the state government. So some of them refuse to cooperate, and to a certain extent they even sabotage some of the things that we plan to do. For me, I would think that we should show to the people that Pakatan Rakyat is promoting local democracy, and we give more room, more space for people to elect their leaders. That's why we have suggested, we are thinking, we are still at the brainstorming stage, to open up at least one local council for local government elections. So it might be not the entire 24 local councillors to be opened up for local government election, but we at least choose some the NGO or the quota for people to elect. We have serious problem within the party, especially in the Malay-based party. They actually complain that we shouldn't even have the NGO quota. It should be all government quota, because they complain that they find that some NGO councillors, they actually have done things as sabotage as even the state government. This already had happened. We have local councillors, so-called from the NGOs, or we appointed them from resident association and so on. They even go to the media to criticize the Menteri Besar, to criticize the state government. They even do things that are not so, that make developers, consultants so difficult. Instead of helping them, they actually have done the opposite. So after facing all these so-called NGO, councillors for doing all these things, and these political parties leaders, they think that it's kind of a waste of vacancy for us to appoint non-party local councillor, and they think that they are not cooperative, they are not helping the Pakatan Rakyat. Generally in the DAP, we are for local government election, but we also empathize and we also understand the problems faced by PAS and PKR, where there are just too many people just want to grab the position. They want to get position either in the GLC, local government, or etc. So this is the dilemma. The difficulties faced by political parties. There's something that outsiders fail to understand. I should say that those who elected by the people, they are NGO. They are not from political party. So they are not political. They are elected by the people. NGOs has a greater credential for them to be elected if they participate in the local government elections. I should say that at this stage we face a lot of blockade. I should say blockade to have local government election. As you have read that in the papers, that the first time when we raised this, PAS had opposed to it. After we have done that, we also find that even within PKR, they have a lot of unhappiness towards the NGO councillors. But of course, when we talk to NGO councillors, they also say that your political party councillors also not really that, not all of them that good too, which I should admit too. But then within political party, we have people who are grabbing, fighting to be local councillors. So if we don't, agree to certain people to be local councillors, we face a greater internal problem within a respective political party. So these are the issues that outsiders fail to understand. Sometimes for the sake of party unity, for the sake of the coalition unity, we are forced to give in to some of the little Napoleon in the party to try to give some goodies to them. That is for them to be to have the position to be local councillor.